You know, at the end of this shit turned into Inspector Gadget. You know, I ain't gonna.
I know, man.
I'm not gonna tell you how. You got to see for yourself. But this shit turned into some James Bond shit, and I just like y'all. This is not even the same movie. Get that off my mind. The shirt from DTmerch.com. Yeah. Oh, Martin. Thank you. Martin, I look at that classic black tee with the white logo. I forget everything. The world is good again. Martin, I can actually wear that hoodie. I can wear that hoodie backwards. Don't have to look at anything. Put those bad visuals in that bag right there, that backpack. We also have, you know, the hats, the polos, the baby tees, the phone covers, and the gift certificates. You know, we get by with your support. Seriously, that is our main source of getting by, and we appreciate that. Been doing it for years, so keep it going. Support us by getting a subscription, even if it's just a support, or gift it to somebody else. And you can go over to the site, try it out. 7 days are free. We don't like and stop anytime. Keep the audio, though. It's free. SoundCloud, iTunes, and we've made it more efficient for you to go in there and get that toasty goodness all over your body. Got a new payment system, Martin.
Do we?
Yeah, we do, man.
What's it called?
It's called payment system. You know, they got the escape rooms in Austin, man. I was actually looking up some stuff for this movie Escape Room. Got about, seriously, there's about 50 of them here in town now.
Yeah, they're popular for the moment.
Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't sell the family home to invest in one.
Yeah.
These kind of things come and go, but for right now, they're hot.
I think they keep building them because people get stuck in them. They can't get out. So they just build new ones instead of just trying to let them out. Y'all get it. We'll bring y'all lunch.
We're hungry. Keep on looking.
Yeah. But very popular thing. So it was only a matter of time before somebody made a horror movie out of one.
Of course.
Somebody said, well, we already had one. It was Saw. People like, no, we need one for the kids now. You know, for the children out there. Plus, Saw's already gone and ran its course. And this one does take advantage of the popularity of escape rooms. You know, that's the room where you pay to go in there and work as a team with other people to find out clues to escape. And Sony, you know, like I said, Sony, we've been trying to escape from Sony for a long time, but they mind, Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Spider-Man was very good.
Yeah.
Amazing. And we say, you know what, maybe Sony turned around.
I don't know if we should say that just yet.
Yeah, unless Spider-Man trying to get out the room. let's hold off. But we don't know. We don't know. I mean, and some people are saying, well, you know, another thing, Corey, is a January movie. You know, that's some bullshit. But no, hey, you know, January don't mean anything now. They're releasing hits all year around now.
True. Will
Escape Room be one of them? The first bona fide hit of 2019. Let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer.
Is it getting hotter? How do we get out of here?
It's Fahrenheit 451. Got it!
It's not just an escape room. There's an escape room where, well, if you don't get out, you die. And this is, I would say that this is not a concept that is that we haven't seen before. You know, one of the things I went in thinking about when I saw this was one of my favorite horror films. Cube, man. Cube is, this movie has scared me more than anything with any kind of slasher, creature, monster, supernatural thing. There's just something frightening about somebody, just other human beings who was so shitty, so cruel, so psychotic that they would lock people in a room and just sit back and watch them die just for fun.
Watch them tear at each other.
Yeah, or to study them or whatever. That's why I love this movie, Cube. This actually came out, I believe, in '99. Spawned 2 sequels, but this is the best one. This is why I love Hostel. I know Hostel is not a favorite for everybody, but like I said, human cruelty is something that just frightens me more than anything, because humans are real.
True.
And it's something even scarier to me about it, where people just sit back. You don't even see them because you don't know what the fuck kind of people are these that would get off on this.
Right. And what do y'all want?
Yeah, there's the mystery of this I think is what is effective. And I'm gonna start out by saying some nice things about this movie, man. And they might be all nice things. You know, I might have some bad things to say about it.
I have something very nice to say about it.
What you have to say?
It has a great opening.
It does. It does. They jump right into it. And even after the opening and after the titles, it's not a long movie. They they set up what they got to set up, and they immediately throw these people into the game.
Right.
Even the people, they sitting up here and they just like, oh shit, it's time to go, because they don't even know that, like, they're waiting.
Yeah, you get some setup with 3 of the characters, and it's decent setup to get you kind of knowing what they are, and then they're thrown in a room with a couple more, well, 3 others, and then it's game on.
Yeah, and the of course the rooms and the puzzles, and mainly the threats of not solving those puzzles are what's going to really make the movie as tense as it wants to be. And it gets there, man. I mean, they find some really horrible ways to kill people. Like, not, there's some that I've seen things where they've set people on fire. There's been an explosion, but they actually trying to cook people. One of the traps is just slowly just raising the heat, like really just slow roasting people.
Right.
And it's cool for a movie that's PG-13 that it's important that they actually make it psychological, because they can't get on no Saw level with this, which is cool, because I don't want to see that motherfucker on a tricycle coming. You don't you don't get no little clown. Hey y'all, I don't want to see all that.
I still feel. I mean, look, if they got the rating they got, they can only do so much. But I feel like these things would have been more effective had they been able to go just a little bit further. The thing is, a movie like this, you're watching it, it's already a mind fuck, because you don't know why. So as long as people die, but you don't see them die, you don't see blood, there's always that feeling like, well, did they though? And is this real? And are they just being messed with?
Okay, I see what you're saying, and I tell you why that didn't bother me too much. Now, if it had been like traps that rely on nothing but the payoff of the death, then okay, that would have been disappointing. But there is a lot of creativity that is put into these games.
Well, especially these rooms.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like the rooms, each one of these are like a set. My favorite one is the upside down room.
Oh yeah, that was the best.
Yeah, they do a lot visually with it. Like there's a room, of course, where you go in. It's almost like a Disneyland of death. They got all of these rooms that have a theme, but like, and people might have their favorite, but like there's a lot of visual creativity that goes into it. There's an upside down room that people go in, and they have to learn how to maneuver, because certain parts of this room is falling apart, and these people, of course, are running out of space to cling on to. I thought a lot of imagination was being put into that, and I thought, okay, I've seen death and gore in all these other movies like they have been. If you're not going to like go for that, go for the other thing.
Sure.
Which I can see what you're saying. But no, I thought that it was, for the suspense that they were going for the most part, successful with that. And I didn't even know, because I didn't know if we were going to get that, because the director of this is Adam Robitel right there.
Oh my God.
Who likes to hang out with Confederate sheep and Martin, you don't act like you don't know this guy. He's I've looked at him on IMDb. He's known as Guy on the Line, and in one movie, I forgot what movie it was. He's in the X-Men. They Guy on the Line in X-Men. He's also known as Dumb LA Guy. In another movie, Martin, you're very familiar with his work.
Yes, of course. How can I forget?
Yeah, I will say that he came in. He's the director of this, and he's in the movie somewhere too. I think he might be like I'm not gonna even try to remember, because I thought he had a bigger role, but I think he's in one of the smaller parts. What? Oh, why you? Was he?
I think so.
No, that's a different guy that was a receptionist.
Okay. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, because that guy was in.
Maybe he was one of the friends that got killed in a drunk driving accident.
You know what? Maybe so. Maybe he played the car. They say he's in the movie somewhere. Maybe he's a voice or something. I'm not sure. But director of the film, and I didn't know how it would come out, because the guy is good with atmosphere. I'll tell you that much. He did Insidious, The Lost Key, and
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
the atmosphere.
and
Yeah.
a lot of atmosphere, but that movie sucked.
Yeah, yes, it did.
Yeah, but I would say that okay, he was given a script that was not very strong. I think with this movie, he's definitely given a lot stronger material. Being that it has a short running time and they get into it fast, the pacing in this moves very quickly, and there are some moments where you really are on edge.
And overall, it has a logical flow to it.
Yeah, it really does. No, I mean, because I remember when I was sitting up there and there was a point where somebody was trying to get out and you were like, ooh. I was like, and I was like, don't do that. Made me jump because I was on edge, man.
Yeah, yeah.
There are moments where they're not all annoying, and they're not. I mean, some of them go at each other. Some of them are assholes, but what I liked about these characters is that they did truly try to work together. Mm-hmm. They did try to actually help each other out, and in the beginning, it really does have a great sense of humor going for it. Some of these characters, even if you don't like them, you get a good laugh out of them. One of the guys I'm looking for, Nick Dodani, I think is the name of the I guess Indian guy. He is like they do a good job at easing you into it and making you laugh at first, and they put in a lot of humor. It's almost a comedy in the beginning.
Sure.
Because no matter how much they come close to dying, he's like, oh, this is awesome. It's so realistic. And I'm like, man, we almost fucking baked to death in there. Did you not feel that? We were almost roasted. And he's like, but you notice we didn't die. It's just hyper realistic. That's all. And you would just you're laughing because you have the idea of everybody in the room. You just want to kill this guy.
You know what? I didn't feel that way about him.
You didn't?
No.
I mean, he was making me laugh, but it's just kind of like,
he's
man.
making me laugh, but he's the one guy who's he knows all about escape rooms. He's been to them. It annoyed me more that they were all like, oh, you're just a nerd. You nerd. You goddamn nerd. You stupid nerd. You virgin nerd. It's like, hey, I'm sorry. You guys are scared. You have an expert here. How about listening to him? And he knows. And even when they get out of it, I'm looking at it from his perspective. He's just going like, wow, this is a super escape room. This is the one I've always wanted.
Yeah.
That actually scared people. This is awesome.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. They were messing with him, especially that brother played by Jay Ellis, man. He was just...
Yeah, he's kind of overcompensating.
I even said that. I don't do this in a lot of movies, but I was like, man, fuck you.
Exactly.
Because he was just rude in the beginning for no reason. Like the guy that loves the escape room.
Uh-huh.
He was being nice to the guys. Like, hey man, you like video games? Like, nah, I fuck women. He was like, man, fuck you. Man.
Exactly.
That wasn't even called for, man. The other characters in there are like I said, are pretty easy to deal with. Taylor Russell plays the really innocent girl that you start out with, who might be somewhat of a genius, or she's at least
she's very smart.
And yeah, she's pitched as the smartest person in the room. I like her, man. She's very sweet. She keeps things pretty stable. What's her name from
Deborah Ann Woll?
Deborah Ann Woll, man. Deborah Ann Woll, who a little bit of a different turn. If you're used to seeing her, a little bit of a different turn for her. A little bit of a rougher edge. She definitely comes in as a little more of a smart ass. Not to the level of my man over there, but she definitely is kind of a more practical, like, I want to get in, I want to get out. And by the way, all this bullshit that we're going through, they need to let us out of here because something's going wrong.
Yeah, she's the first one to go like, all right, that's enough. Let me out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But my favorite was the older guy.
The truck driver?
The truck driver, man, if I can find a picture of him, because we just saw this today and I didn't have any idea how this review was
I
going.
had no time to prep.
Yeah, but
yeah, Eric and I were talking about it. Like, he's been in a lot of stuff. I remember him mostly from Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
That's him?
Yeah.
Is he Dale? Or is he some other?
He's Tucker or Dale. He's the one who's not Alan Tudyk.
Okay. Which one was that? No. He's the one that's the most stable in the group. In fact, I ain't gonna say what he says, but he pretty much becomes somebody's daddy.
He was also in Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency.
Okay. I have no idea what that is, but no, this guy was he was good. I liked him because I thought it was gonna be something where Sony was gonna be playing it kind of again where we want to go so youthful that we just gonna put a bunch of dumbass
Older people.
Gen Z in there. No, a bunch
Oh
of
yeah.
no, a bunch of dumbass kids in here who just look pretty,
Well,
and
that's
hardly
more,
act.
That's more of a Jason Blum thing.
No, but when they brought this guy in, really nice guy, and like I said, and what was cool about it is that he's so nice that somebody pushed him so hard. He's like, you say that shit again, and I'm gonna whoop you like I'm your daddy. Say it again. And somebody was being a big asshole, man, about things, and he's like, don't let this fucking nice demeanor fool your ass, man.
That was his Corey Coleman moment.
Yeah.
The minute he said it, I knew you were going to start laughing.
Give your ass a Kentucky ass whooping. Kentucky fried ass whooping. It's kind of silly in some things. I mean, there are some illogical things that go on here. Some of these things that they put these situations they put them in, these people, they should actually be dead. I don't know. Somehow the environment is getting destroyed, falling apart, and they're still okay. Like, if this is enough to actually break strong materials, it's gonna break human flesh. It's gonna break bones. It got kind of silly with giving them a little extra time to get out of things. So they tried to have it both ways. They tried to show you how bad these situations can get, how these elements can get, and the height that they raise it to are elements that no human being is gonna be able to survive in.
Well, I always wonder when you have some game master controlling a room like this, where it's like, no, it was their intention to drag it out and see how long you could go. It's like, yeah, but you could have accidentally killed everybody in the first room.
Yeah,
and then you spent all that money for nothing.
There's points where you see like shit is cooking.
Yeah.
When metal starts to cook, that means humans are gone.
Right.
Like they're touching things and it ain't burning them. It's like,
Uh-huh.
it doesn't make any sense. And you notice that, and that is a point where if you criticize it for that, I totally get it. I think they kept the tension going strong enough to where I was like, okay, I can let it go for a little while.
I honestly expected them to be much worse about the illogical things.
Like the ice area, they intentionally made it look fake.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
That was
actually,
cool.
I admired that. It lets you know that that these were evil people working on a budget, which added to the movie a little bit. I thought.
Well, because the idea is that they never leave a building. So if that had looked any more real, I'd have been like, come on, this is some bullshit.
Yeah.
But they kept it fake, and I was like, okay, I can believe that with some technology you could make inside look that way.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, if this is something that, if you can let go of, some of the deepest logical or illogical things in the film, you can have a good time with it. And that is why I'm going to give it a matinee. Oh, but wait a minute. Hold on. Wait, y'all still going? What? I was about to walk out. Wait, there's more?
Is that it, Corey? Oh, well, now that you ask.
Oh shit. We good. No, sit down. Sit down. I want to show you something. Man, the movie was okay. It got to a point where they were pushing it. But I said, all right, you know what? We're already kind of working with a crazy premise. I'm going to just, no pun intended here, but I'm just going to play the game and just go along with it. And the end, like the last 10 minutes of this movie, just decided to get plain stupid.
Now you sound like me talking about Wreck-It Ralph.
No, Martin, I knew you were going to bring that shit up.
Did you?
Yeah, because this ain't a stinger. Wreck-It Ralph told this story and said, if you want to sit down for these dumbass stingers, you go right ahead. But the story is done. You ain't going to miss nothing. This is part of the story. This is resolution. And a stupid-ass resolution at that. At the end of this shit turned into Inspector Gadget. I ain't gonna...
I know, man.
I'm not gonna tell you how. You got to see for yourself. But this shit turned into some James Bond shit, and I just like y'all. This is not even the same movie that we're ending with.
It's that kind of thing where you go. Sometimes you can end with a mystery and a big question mark, and sure, that will leave some people dissatisfied. But sometimes, if you decide to go ahead and explain it and give it an explanation, if you don't have a good one, you will undo so much of what you did already.
Yes.
It's better to just leave it up to us to figure out what it is.
Yeah. When they got to over-explain this movie in the most Saturday morning cartoonish way that they could, and it became a different movie, and it was just, and on top of that, it wasn't just, because at first I was like, you know, they just being goofy, but they just kept going and kept going. Oh, and that was it. And they ended. I said, well, that was stupid. And then the movie said, but wait a minute. We got some more. Oh, we ain't done yet.
Oh, no. Let me just go ahead and leave. I double parked, and I left my child in the car.
They actually, I said, that no. I got up, and they actually pushed my ass back down the seat like, we ain't finished. This story ain't done. And it somehow managed to even get dumber than the ending that we just saw.
Yeah, honestly, that first kind of ending, I was of the, I don't really like this. It's kind of lazy. But hey, you weren't that smart to begin with. You didn't have a lot of options. I knew this was going to be one of them. You chose this one. I feel like you chose poorly, but it's okay.
Yeah,
we can still be friends. And they said, but there's an epilogue. Really? You're going to fix what you just did? Oh, no.
No, man. Bitch, I'll let you slide on a lot of things. And I see, that's why I get mad at this kind of shit, because you know me, I always say, man, I'm a story guy, but tonight I came in, Mark, we just got out of Aquaman. And I said, well, maybe I'm a little too hard on the movie.
You sure did.
And I said up here, one dumb thing after another, I said, man, this is just fun. They just trying to have a good time. You wouldn't let me have it. You just kept fucking going. And really, Mark, you hit it right there, the epilogue. It was the epilogue that just sealed the deal right there.
Because I feel like it was done. It was a scene, and it's like, okay, they're going to cut off right here and then do kind of that lazy, like, well, maybe there'll be a sequel, maybe not. But they said no.
No. It was, okay, got to the end. Oh, we just slipped up a little bit. Got to the epilogue. No, we just fucking with you now. I'm going to show you some dumb shit.
Don't do this.
No.
It's funny because I watch your body language change, because I could tell you were having a good time and just letting it, just riding it out.
Betrayal. It's what I felt. Really, from the aspect of the organization and what they're doing,
right,
to some of the people that were playing the game. It is just not consistent with each other. It is not consistent with the characters we were set up with.
No.
It is writing that is loose and fun, and you can let it go for that. And then when they really try to crack down and make more out of it, it's almost like they got a little bit too serious with it. Instead of just being able to just cut it off and just let it go for what it was, you had something good, and you couldn't let it. And really, what upsets me about that is that it wasn't that they were just trying to get deeper and more complex to try to end the movie. No, they weren't trying to end the movie. They were trying to actually set themselves up for a sequel. Yeah. Like this is one of those things where if it's successful, I think they want to make this a franchise. Hey, listen, it's a fun movie, and I want to give it credit for the things that it did get right. And there are. I mean, it is truly suspenseful in most of the film. And like I said, it is a lot of visual imagination and creativity that goes into a lot of the film, also with the traps and the puzzles. So it's not a waste. It's just kind of a disappointment, a big, heavy disappointment that I couldn't give this the matinee that I was sitting on for most of the film, that I have to go and just say, hey, you know what? It's a good run. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot there to enjoy yourself. And if you're watching it on a streaming service, Blu-ray or whatever, that last 10 minutes is not going to make you feel like you wasted your time. Shit, for all I know, watching it at home, you might be like, yeah, bring this dumb shit on. I'm ready.
Where's the second one?
Yeah. I'm going to get that shit out of Redbox too.
I think the thing I most enjoyed about this movie was how bad it wasn't. Because looking at the trailers, it looked like it was going to, or at least had the potential to be terrible. I also enjoyed how well the rooms were designed. It was, there's a lot here to like. Now, with so much to like, there's not a lot to love. Mm-hmm. That's the thing I kept noticing. I was like, you know what? I'm enjoying myself, but only at a medium level, and it's not really rising above that. Yeah, I know that's not its goal, but it'd be nice if ever so often it could do that. But like you, I was like, hey, man, there's no reason for me to overly criticize this movie. It's accomplishing what it set out to do. It is enjoyable. Let's just take it for what it is. Get out of here and tell everybody, hey, you want a fun time, that's interesting, see this. But it believed too much in its own hype, or somebody put their hands in it and just kind of killed. It ruined the vibe. And that's too bad, because it was sitting at a low matinee, and it just dropped it down to a high rental.
Shit had aspirations.
Yeah.
Couldn't make it.
Yeah. But I've just gotten conditioned to where I know these things, where it's like, hey, we've been having a good time, but we still got the third act.
Yeah.
And when I say the third act, I don't really mean the third act. I mean the last portion of the third act.
Yeah.
Because it always comes down to, this is all great and all, but why is it happening? Do you have a good answer for that? And once you answer that, where are we going next? Where do we tie the bow?
Yep. Listen, you can do all kind of flips and back flips and gymnastics up in there all you want to, but if you fall on your ass, zero. Did you have fun watching this video? It doesn't have to stop. Subscribe to this YouTube channel right here. And if you really like what we do, go over to our website, doubletoasted.com, where you'll not only find a longer form version of this video right here, but also the live streams that we do almost every night of the week. Support us at dtmerch.com. And remember to always stay toasty.